This video is made possible by Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands of incredibly helpful classes. Receive a 2-month free trial by going to this link in the description below, and stick around at the end of the video to learn more. Today I'm going to talk about Black Mirror Season 5 Episode 3, Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, also known as one of the more tame episodes of Hannah Montana. There will be spoilers ahead for this episode, and there will be spoilers for Bandersnatch, 15 Million Merits, White Christmas, and actually, you know what? Since this is the finale of the most recent season, let's just say there's spoilers for the entire series, from seasons 1 through 5, including Bandersnatch. In Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, we follow two dysfunctional families. The first one being Ashley O and her Aunt Catherine. Catherine is the opposite of that super chill aunt, as she just cares about being rich and wants to put Ashley in a coma, use new technology to take advantage of Ashley's ability to dream up songs to then harvest those songs and sell them for boatloads of money. You know, normal family stuff. And the second family is Rachel, Jack, and the dad who only cares about his humane rodent removal business. Which is not humane at all, because he definitely murdered that mouse. But I guess he's kind of okay, because he still bought the Ashley 2 doll for Rachel, showing that he somewhat cares. Rachel attends Rittman High School, a school named after Colin or Pearl Rittman from Bandersnatch. We see Rachel doesn't really have any friends and is kind of an outsider. On Rachel's 15th birthday, she gets the new Ashley 2 doll, something that she uses to fill the role of an actual friend. This doll is based on the celebrity Ashley O, someone who is famous all over the world, from places like California to the Smithereens headquarters in London, where we see an Ashley O hashtag on the screen in the lobby appearing right below the hashtag SaitoXNetflix and right above the hashtag Bargain Hunt. And I would just like to take this time and thank everyone for reminding me that I forgot to mention the Ashley O hashtag in my Smithereens analysis. Thank you for reminding me almost every single day of my life. But speaking of Easter eggs, at this point, it is tradition that we get extremely sidetracked. The news stations in this episode have an outrageous amount of them Easter eggs. During the first breaking news report, they mention Ashley O is brought to St. Juniper's Hospital, a hospital sharing the same name with the hospitals from Black Museum and Bandersnatch. And there is a headline, "Architect Arrested on Multiple Murder Charges," referring to Mia from the episode Crocodile, confirming that Mia did not get away with those murders. The next time we see an update on Ashley, there is a headline reading, "Narrative Creator Still Missing," referring to Colin from Bandersnatch. There's also Saito Gamu's shares jump on Striking Vipers release, referencing the episode Striking Vipers. Then there's museum owner's body found in smoking ruins, referring to the ending of Black Museum after Nish burns down the museum with Rollo inside. Right before the segment on Ashley O in a coma, there's an advertisement for the Willow grain saying, "Because memory is for living," promoting the same grain from the episode The Entire History of You. The reporter announces that Tusk made a boo-boo on British TV, showing the same clip from the episode Hated in the Nation, of Tusk saying that the kids dancing was terrible. The reporter also mentions the Sea of Tranquility reboot, a show that is brought up in episodes like the National Anthem and Nosedive, and we finally get to see more of the artwork from the show. I was definitely expecting a live action, but it looks like they're rebooting it as an anime. Phew! Let's hope I didn't miss anything this time. Using their dad's special computer for the robot mice, Rachel and Jack plug in Ashley 2 and unknowingly remove the limiter from the doll's brain. And because of this, Ashley can think again, giving her the ability to tell Rachel and Jack what is actually going on with the real Ashley. Also revealing that every single Ashley 2 doll has a duplicated consciousness of Ashley, similar to Cookies from the episodes USS Callister and White Christmas. With one more reluctant than the other, the two girls agree to help this Ashley 2 doll rescue the real Ashley and stop Catherine from making a fully digital replacement of her. The plot for Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 was partially inspired by how the music industry is starting to have holographic versions of artists like Amy Winehouse, Prince, Whitney Houston, etc., etc. The show's creator Charlie Brooker further talks about this, saying, "It's notable these people often pass away in extremely tragic circumstances. They've been chewed up by the fame industry and now they're being resurrected. It's extremely ghoulish." Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 has received a fair amount of negative criticism. One of the issues people had with this episode was the amount of cliches used in it, all starting with the classic dad picking up the daughter from school in an embarrassing extermination van cliche. I've also heard a lot of comments saying that it's just a Disney Channel movie but with swearing, but that's the point. Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 was intentionally made to feel like a Disney movie, as this episode is more targeted towards the generation that needs to hear its message. Executive producer of Black Mirror, Annabelle Jones, explained it gets increasingly heightened and sarcastic and satirical. And we see this with the talent show. Usually in something like a Disney Channel movie, a talent show would be a huge part of the hero's journey, a way the hero redeems their reputation at their school or a moment where they start becoming a somebody. But the opposite of this happens in Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 because it's treated like real life, resulting in some of the most cringe-inducing seconds I've ever witnessed. Miley Cyrus's career has helped mold the character of Ashley O. Charlie Brooker had Miley in mind as the ideal choice to play Ashley, and Miley contributed to the script by bringing up some of her own experiences from her career, as Miley Cyrus became a teen idol when she starred in Disney Channel's Hannah Montana in 2006, about a teen who, like Ashley, throws on a wig and puts on another persona when performing. Nearing the end of Hannah Montana in 2010, Miley released her album Can't Be Tamed. Upon its release, she stated, "I want to do my last pop record. I'm working on a record right now. I kind of want this to be my last record for a while and be able to take a break and just get all the types of music that I really love. You know, my favorite styles, because in a few years as I grow up, so will my fans, and I won't have to focus on that as much. And I'll be able to have more of the sound of music that I'm into." Basically saying, I'm grown up and I'm not going to be something that I'm not. When she was 18, she started this journey of becoming more honest and comfortable with who she was. In the years following, she has been more open about using recreational drugs as well as her sexuality. When talking about Miley, Annabelle Jones claimed, "Her whole career has been about the Disney pop star who tries to carve out her own identity, and as a result has faced a lot of opposition from her label and her fans in some respect. So she's been on that journey. The dad's runner removal company was killing mice, and the mascot for Disney is Mickey Mouse. There's even that great moment when Ashley refuses to get in the car that's designed like a mouse." Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 is making a point that most of these companies only see the artist as the product they've created, something that is physically represented as they put Ashley's brain into the product of the Ashley O doll, having a large portion of the Ashley 2 doll's brain locked, but each doll has an Ashley that is fully aware of what's going on. The same way they only showed a small portion of Ashley to the public, just the side that deals with press junkets and promos. Then we just see them discard of these sentient dolls by tossing them into a wood chipper. There was also that nice little detail when they put a pink wig on Ashley when she's in a coma. Catherine's soulless behavior was also revealed to us when she was using the same disingenuous words Billy Bauer was given in Smithereens. You know, the same episode with the Ashley O hashtag that appears. Catherine uses the same advice Penelope was sending Billy, following step 1, letting them know you're listening, as both Catherine and Billy say, "I hear you." Then the second step, empathize with their position, as Catherine says, "I'm sorry, I know how you feel." Not only does her manager / label look at Ashley as a product, getting her to the point where she can't even enjoy food without having to worry about immediately hitting the gym afterward, but this dehumanization of an artist while creating an icon has such a detrimental effect on her fans that when Ashley O wakes up in pure terror and is struggling to move, Rachel can't do anything but say, "I'm such a huge fan." Rachel is not able to see Ashley as a human being, or the real struggle at hand, only seeing an entity that exists for our entertainment. By the way, before they filmed this scene, the 2018 California wildfires were happening, and Miley's home in Malibu got caught in the fire and destroyed. So she took all of that anger and stress and used it for her performance you see right here. We hear the song "Anyone Who Knows What Love Is" performed in every season of Black Mirror, in episodes like 15 Million Merits, White Christmas, Men Against Fire, Crocodile, and now Rachel, Jack, and Ashley too. It's a song that represents something pure and innocent, but like the technology, the song is corrupted by humans. In this episode in particular, the song was heartfelt and created with such authenticity, but then the song is stolen and exploited by Ashley's manager holding her captive. Trent Reznor from the rock band 9 Inch Nails gave Charlie Brooker permission to rewrite "Head Like a Hole" to "On a Roll," and the right to use "Right Where It Belongs" while changing it to "Right Where I Belong." They also did a rewrite of the song "Hurt," changing it to "Flirt," but that wasn't included in the episode. In Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, pop music is seen as something hollow and superficial, and the rock music is representing something honest and authentic. A lot of people from my generation found this episode to be somewhat nostalgic because we grew up with Nickelodeon and Disney stars like Hannah Montana. But just a quick side note, it's interesting that the dad's company is named Goggins, because it could be in reference to David Goggins, a man who weighed close to 300 pounds, decided to turn his life around, background, went through Hell Week 3 times and became a Navy SEAL. Before Goggins got back on his feet, he was working for a pest control company, which coincidentally, the dad's company, Goggins, is a pest control business. When talking about being your own person, David Goggins brings up the concept that he calls the accountability mirror. He explains the philosophy behind it, saying, "I got caught up in trying to impress so many different people because no one liked me, so I developed so many different identities. Let me talk this way, or act this way, or be this way, or whatever the hell it may be. God, there's so many different things I did to try to fit in with so many different groups." Concluding with, when you look in the mirror, that's the one person you can't lie to. One of the most important lines of dialogue in this entire episode is when Ashley 2 comments on the poster in Rachel's room saying, "I remember that day, I had these god-awful period cramps." In a nutshell, her audience is unable to see the human being behind the image. With this, the artist tends to lose their say in anything. When discussing the episode, Miley Cyrus claimed, "It really portrays the overt exploitation of artists, and that numbers usually eclipse the creative most of the time. With artists losing their creative freedom, these inauthentic influencers can have such a negative effect on the youth." Ashley 2 trains Rachel to be just like Ashley, from the makeup, wig, clothing, and teaching her an unoriginal dance routine. Instead of just inspiring Rachel to make something of her own when entering the talent show, the doll was making Rachel into Ashley 2.0, and not a better version of herself. At the end of Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, the hit song On a Roll is changed back to the original Head Like a Hole, getting rid of the shallow pop sound and replacing it with the hard rock tone that it originally had, as well as changing the lyrics back from "Hey yeah whoa ho, I'm on a roll, riding so high, achieving my goals," to "Head like a hole, black as your soul, I'd rather die than give you control," taking back her creative freedom from the soulless corporation. The dad is trying to sell the robot mice to the bartender, but is denied to further emphasize this is no place for the mouse company. During this last concert, Rachel has a hard time getting into this new music that was created by a person she blindly followed, the kind of music that her role model actually liked making. And 2 fans of the old version of Ashley run out of this grungy concert, as they only liked how this artist was portrayed, not the actual artist. This is one of the most important things about this episode. Rachel has a broken, dysfunctional family, with a dad who doesn't really understand her and a sister who is mostly cold and distant. Rachel is someone who doesn't have a good role model in her life, and Jack hates the music of Ashley O and only listens to the kind of music her mom liked. Their mom was someone who may have been an actual good role model, but that part is missing from their lives. And in real life, situations like this are extremely common. You have kids growing up with no real direction, while having an overwhelming exposure to celebrities like Ashley O, idolizing these figures and making them their role models. But these kids are looking up to a fictional character that doesn't exist. Ashley keeps saying things like the way to get where she is to believe in yourself. A celebrity who is made to look perfect telling kids to believe in themselves while inspiring them to follow a goal that doesn't exist, so they can sell kids a lifestyle that is also non-existent. Ashley's hologram turns into a giant, something that is larger than life and unattainable. Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 spends half the episode focusing on a celebrity who is censored and wanting to act like themselves, and the other half is focusing on a kid growing up and wanting to be like someone who doesn't want to be who they are portrayed as. As a result, these kids end up feeling empty as their self-worth diminishes. With that said, I want to address something. I concluded my analysis of 15 Million Merits saying that I'd probably be a sellout like Bing given the opportunity, but with each passing day, I'm learning how things like truth and authenticity are sacred. At this point, I'm looking around and seeing all these people who I'm supposed to look up to turn their backs on their own morals and beliefs to grow their profits, having no issue putting on a facade or lying to the public as long as there is a gross amount of money getting shoved into their bank account. It's okay to promote and sell things, it's basically how a lot of YouTubers make their income. But to no longer have a voice of your own because you need to appease these companies or countries is a whole nother thing. In fact, one of the major points of this episode is that Ashley getting the ability to speak her mind again was the only thing that saved her from getting taken advantage of. In my video analyzing Nosedive, I mentioned how a goal of mine has always been getting 100,000 subscribers, but now that I'm almost at that milestone, I really don't care. What I care about is the content that I make and being satisfied with what I'm doing. I don't believe in the phrase money can't buy you happiness, because not having money can prevent you from being happy in so many ways. But as long as I can make a living, I'd rather freely speak my mind and create something that I want to make, without being inauthentic and becoming something that I'm not just for the benefit of expanding my brand. I'd rather have a few thousand who are able to connect with me and care about my content enough to remind me almost every single day of my existence that I forgot to put the AshleyO hashtag in my smithereens analysis than a million who don't, and like me for something that I'm not. Because I can't describe how incredible it is when you put a piece of yourself out there and someone can relate. Black Mirror is referring to the moment when the phone, tablet, or computer screen turns off and the people watching are left with a dark reflection. And to quote Goggins again, when you look in the mirror, that's the one person you can't lie to. Ashley is favoring a smaller niche fan base over the exuberant amount of fans that like something she hated making. As I mentioned earlier, this episode was inspired by Miley Cyrus's career, someone that did change to follow an alternative path. A great example of someone in real life who is wildly successful by deviating from what everyone wanted her to be. Most of your heroes are not who you think they are, and a lot of musicians may just be corporate pawns selling you a lifestyle, so it's best not to embark on a journey to become just like them, because the only person that you have to face at the end of the day is you. And that's why you should be whoever the hell you want to be. And make sure your breadbox is certified. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. For those of you who don't know, Skillshare is an awesome website that offers classes and communities on a wide variety of subjects. One of my favorite classes is Creative Writing for All, a 10-day journaling challenge hosted by Emily Gould. I'm someone who definitely suffers from frequent writer's block. Like, there are those days that I'll just stare at my screen, unable to type a single word. What I loved about this class is that it made me realize one of the reasons I was finding it difficult to write new material is because I was afraid of changing up my style and becoming more vulnerable. This journaling challenge helped me get out of my comfort zone while inspiring me to look at my work through a whole nother perspective, so I can overcome those limitations that prevent me from growing as a writer. Now, I'm getting writer's block way less often. An annual subscription to Skillshare is less than $10 a month. Plus, you'll receive a 2-month free trial by going to this link in the description below. So go check it out. And that's all I had to say about Rachel, Jack, and Ashley too. Oh, and by the way, like San Junipero and Nosedive, this episode was filmed in South Africa. I just couldn't find a way to organically work that into the script. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next Black Mirror Ending Explained.